Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is race number 2 of the Winston 802 Cup Series here at Rockingham. Qualifying underway right now. And here's a look at the standings so far. Three, now make it four cars have taken a lap. Rob Lowe so far with that Riptide Radio quick time. We'll see if that 21 can hang on to it. That 21 machine was the fastest in practice, so we got to keep that in mind. Matthew Johnson here calling it after 2 laps. His second lap was his best lap for the 38 Extreme Sim TV machine. We head on over now looking at the 19. This is Cody Meadows. Meadows on his first time lap, very close to that backstretch wall there. Able, I think, to keep that race car off of it. As Meadows lap number 1, good enough for P number 7. Meadows, of course, coming off that Riptide 250 win last week at Daytona. Trying to keep that momentum rocking and rolling. We'll see if the 19 machine can be faster here on lap number 2. And off of turn number 4 for the final time into the stripe. Meadows' second lap going to be slower, so he will stay at P number 8 with a 23.91. Hudson here in the 23 machine. It looks like lap number 1 going to be a 24.03, and lap number 2 issues down the back straightaway for the 23 machine. He will get a piece of the wall, and it looks like we'll only complete 1 lap for the 23. So on the podium last week, hoping to keep some momentum, and man, he sounds like a cool dude to get some racing stories from. Here in the 69 machine down the backstretch into turn number 3. Wait, not sure if his first lap didn't count or this is lap number 1. We'll find out here as White will come across the stripe. It looks like neither lap will count, so the 69 gonna at least start outside of the top 19 as we had 19 cars here take a lap so far. It looks like only the 17 and maybe the 88, only 2 cars yet to take a time here in qualifying. But at the moment, here's the top 5. Rob Lowell with the Riptide Radio quick time at the moment. Then Steve Ritter right there in second in the 61. Jim Ott, P number 3. Brandon Guerin, P number 4. And then it is Frank Zingen rounding out the top 5 here. And it looks like, yeah, that will be the case as about 20 seconds left in the session. So that only means one thing here tonight. In that Riptide Radio pole award going to the 21 GStone Motorsports machine of Rob Lowell. So he picks up his first career pole this season. And let me just double check here just to make sure I get all my facts right. But I believe this is now pole number 12 of the 21's career. So closes on into now 3 poles away from the guy with the most ever. That is his teammate in the 6th car, Johnny Barker, with 15. So congrats to Rob here tonight with the quick time. And with that, he will lead the field to green. And speaking about green, we get ready to head on over to that. So let's head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup. Leading the field to the green flag will be that GStone Ford number 21. That being piloted by Rob Lowell. To his outside on the front row, it will be the 61. That is Steve Ritter. Then we head to row number 2. Starting on the inside in P number 3 will be the 4 car. That is Jim Ott. Rolling off P number 4 will be the 1 car of Brandon Guerin. Rounding out the top 5 for the starting lineup here tonight will be the 62 car. That is Frank Zingen. Then starting in 6th is car number 6, Johnny Barker, rolling off. On the outside of row number 3, Mike Pardusky here in the 36 machine. He will roll off 7th. And Cody Meadows, last week's winner at Daytona, will start 8th. Kip Beasley in the 8 car will roll off 9th. And Eli Raposa here tonight will round out the top 10. Starting in 11th here is the 97 of Jeff Pogo. And then in 12th is the 2 car of Nick Larson. In 13th will be Joe Hudson in the 23. Rolling off 14th will be the 38 of Matt Johnson. Greg Trice in the 64 machine will start 15th. 16th going to Brandon Finley in the 48. Jason Wiley in the 13 will start 17th. Andres Varas in the 84 rolling off 18th. 19th going to Reba Caton in the 30 machine. Dan Holcroft in the 88 will start 20th. 21st going to Chris Prager in the 17, and Tanner White in the 69 will round out the field. And it looks like we, in fact, do have a 22 car field here ready to do battle here at the Rock. As I believe we should be going green flag racing here this time by. Yes, we are. So Rob Lowell in control here for the Tarheel 200. And Rob Lowell on the loud pedal. Here we go. Green flag racing at Rockingham. Lowell did not get through the gears as well as Ritter. Ritter able to go to the race lead from the top side here down the Brack straightaway. Ritter with the race lead here. Rob Lowell falls back to second. Jim Ott in P number 3. And Brandon Guerin here gets walled up by quite a few cars. As here comes the 36 machine of Pardusky. A big checkup on the inside line. Kip Beasley had to really get out of it. Same with the 46 of Eli Raposa. As Sparks up top here. As it looks like the 6 car of Johnny Barker. Barker here slow on the racetrack. Heavy front end damage for the 6 machine. Barker's night may come to a very early end as we stay green flag racing. Steve Ritter out in front. Top 3 by themselves and not anymore. As we get our first caution of the evening. It looks like Tanner White here facing the wrong direction. Same with the 88 of Dan Holcroft. And these 2 cars definitely involved in this one. We will have to figure on out what kicked off this first caution here in the opening laps. And we take a look here trying to see if anything obvious, and that's something right there. Tanner White getting big time loose. Man, he will squeeze that 38 Extreme Sim TV car hard against that outside wall. So both those cars going to have extensive damage, the 38 and the 69. What happens to Holcroft? Oh, it looks like with that evasive move, it loaded up the left side of the car, got that car loose, and then it started rotating towards the wall and had the whip weight going. And once that happens, you only get a few corrections to try and save that race car. Looks like the 88 could not, and oh, looks like maybe the 64 with some damage there late in the caution. Yes, it is. Some heavy right front damage at that. So about 5 cars down on pit road. The 84 down there, the 38, the 64, the 88. And it looks like Tanner White here rolling back around. Probably will come back down. At least get some more damage repaired. It looks like it will not be for the 69. First caution coming out here early, and that can be expected here at Rockingham. Cold tires are very, very tough here, especially off of turn number 2. That wall comes up so much quicker than you could ever really predict as a driver. And with it being cold tires, these cars are going to be a lot looser, so under throttle application, that back end will want to whip on around. And that is the case, especially if you have too much wheel, worried about that wall, you jump on the throttle with that, and it's just going to light those rear tires up and send you on spinning. That seems like that's kind of what happened in the 69, is that with them spinning, he tried to save it, got some correction, and there was a car to his outside. So first restart of the night coming on up here. The field already re-racked, restacked, and Steve Ritter in control. He will lead the field back to the green flag. Interesting choice. Ritter taking the inside lane. Saw the 21 not get a great start from there. We'll see if that can change this time by. As the iRacing pace car will head down pit road. 64 machine leads the field into the restart zone. And fire on off, and we head back to green flag racing. As wow, big checkup and big time incident here on the front straightaway. This 36 involved, the 17, the 1, the 38, and the 4 car of Jim Ott. That may have started with Ott. It seemed like that lane not going there on the start, so we will have to see what happened to the 4 machine, as here we go. Actually, the bottom of the inside lane here on the restart. So there we see the leaders firing on off. Everything looks well until it's not. Jim Ott with the wheel spin. That will turn the car hard right. Brandon Guerin probably having no clue what just hit him. Looks like that will collect the 36 machine. Then the rest of the field going to try and drive through. Wow, what a move there by the 48 of Brandon Finley to drive through the middle of that. And I don't think pick up any sort of damage. Like wheel spin definitely a issue here tonight for these drivers. We will have to see if that continues to be a issue or not. But here in caution number 2 early on tonight, gonna catch a few drivers out, and one of them being this 4 car with now extensive damage probably on all 4 quarters. And with this caution here, with the amount of cars that are having issues, we see about half the field down on pit road. So 2 quick cautions to kick off the night here at Rockingham under our second caution here. And we're going to go throw it over to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll be back for restart number 2 here for the Tarheel 200. All right, here we go. The field is doubled on up. We are going green here at the stripe. Steve Ritter once again in control of the start. Rob to his outside, and then look at this new row number 2. Cody Meadows, Kip Easley right there as well. As iRacing pace car will head on off, and here we go. Steve Ritter into the restart zone. Will wait a while, and he will get a great start. Same with Cody Meadows. Meadows here quickly looking for the race lead. Did Steve Ritter have an issue? He is way off the pace now in the 61. Ritter led the field at the stripe, now down into P number 7. So not sure if the 61 has an issue or says, you know what, it's tire saving mode, because that is going to be the key here tonight at Rockingham. This track very, very rough. I mean, you could just see that with these cars bouncing around the speedway. So it's going to matter how you take care of these tires each and every time you push them. As we see a battle for second on the speedway, Kip easily up into P number 2, but our race leader now, Cody Meadows, he started in P number 8. Now our race leader and last time by fastest car on the track. So Meadows says, we are not saving at the moment. We are pushing this car, and we're going to make the rest of this field try and run me on down. Everyone else mostly single file on out here tonight. Looks like quite a few cars down on pit road. It looks like maybe done for the evening. One of those being the 69 of Tanner White coming back in. Mike Pardusky, another one, Greg Dreiss, as well as Johnny Barker, all down on pit road here. As lap 15 has officially started here tonight, Kip Easley starting to run down Meadows just a little bit. Has cut that race lead inside of half a second here. So that A car looking very sporty. As now within about 3 car lengths, now make it 2 for that race lead. Look a little bit deeper in the field. Here's the 17 machine of Chris. Chris making his, I believe, first start in 802. I know he for sure has started. Well, I should say I for sure know he hasn't started a race this season. Trying to work over Jim Ott for the 13th position. Up in front of them, battle inside the top 5 here as Joe Hudson and Frank Zingen go door number to door number. Drag race off of turn number 4, give the advantage to the 62. Now the 23 will have the advantage here in 1 and 2 with that banking. You can just run that lower line, and if you can run that, wrap those left side tires around that painted yellow line, you can pick up a ton of time without being too abrasive on those tires. Right behind that, we see the 97 of Jeff Pogo. Pogo started outside of the top 10 here tonight. He has driven on up in the 6th, able to just get around Brandon Finley. As Finley, with that great wreck avoidance before, that has rewarded him inside the top 10 here at the moment, running P number 7 here for the 48. So a great start to the race. Take a look at some of the wounded race cars out here tonight. Matt Johnson, Brandon Guerin both finding themselves 1 lap down here with some heavy damage on those race cars. So if we were to get a caution, those guys would be fighting each other for that lucky dog. As Pogo has gone around the 62, now the 48 will try and do the same. Brandon almost into the wall there off of turn number 2. That very, very close for the 48. But we got to jump up to the front here. Battle for the race lead. As it looks like Kip Easley will take over the point here tonight. So Easley able to run down Meadows, able to get on around him. A new race leader, the 8 car out in front. We will have to keep an eye on lap times. As easily across the stripe, a 24.36 for the 8. That looks like a 24.54 for the 19 machine. So easily might be able to start stretching out this lead about 2/10 a lap if he keeps up this pace, and he may have to because the 21 machine of Rob Lowe right there and running similar pace to that 8 car. As it looks like, a little bit of tire smoke going into the 38 machine with that damage, trying to get up and out of the way, and almost got a piece of the wall there going into turn number 1. So an 1/8 of the way done here tonight. As we see a battle shaping on up here for the 11th spot. The 17 machine has ran down the 46. Raposa gets loose. Contact between the two of them. Somehow they keep it straight, but wow. Big time contact for both of them. As Raposa, I think, spun those rear tires. And then, man, that car just out of control. And we've seen that happen many, many a times here at Rockingham. And probably the last time, or I should say, won't be the last time we see that here tonight. As we ride on board with our second place runner, Cody Meadows, getting run on down a little bit by the 21 machine. Let's ride on board and see what Meadows is doing here. And you can hear those bumps off of turn number 2, those RPMs spiking up on these race cars. And that is where the problems start, especially with these next-gen cars with the limited amount of travel and just the lack of, rear stability, that once these things get sideways, they are tough to hang on to with no side force. Now we see the 21 machine jump down to the bottom lane here. We'll try the bottom side of 3 and 4. Looks like about even for both of them. As, oh no, Kenny, you lost track of time. Was it the time change or the championship race here tonight that did you on in? As we look to a battle here, Steve Ritter. I think Ritter was just on tire conservation mode. Said, you know what, everyone can push their stuff. I'm going to go and do a late run. Might not be the cause. We get our 3rd caution on the Speedway here tonight. And it looks like a lot of smoke coming out from the 88 machine. Oh, some heavy, heavy front end damage. And it looks like Holcroft's night will come to an end here. Yeah, that could do it, Kenny. Yeah, definitely. I had to make sure I changed my clocks right away, or else, yeah, that would have got me as well. As let's take a look here to see what brought out our 3rd caution of the evening. Oh, and it looks like the 88 machine got some help from the 46 off of turn number 2, and then, yeah, there's that big hit to the inside wall for the 88. And Dan Holcroft's night will come to an end with that. A big time hit off the nose of the 46 here. So here, 30 laps into this race, I would assume that we see most of the field come on in, take that first set of tires, just because it is such an advantage if you get tires. If this race, goes green to the next pit cycle, those who take tires will be on such an advantage. They still have, I believe, 2 more sets of tires over the wall, and I would feel comfortable trying to play the strategy of coming in now, since that was almost going to be a pretty long run there. As we see the first car to do it, the 21 machine, it looks like the top 3 going to stay on out for the most part. Everyone else down on pit road, so we will keep an eye on the end of pit road, see who wins the race off of pit road. As we see the first car to move there, the 97 of Jeff Pogo. Then it was the 23 car, the 62, the 61, and then it is the 2. So quite a few cars taking 2 tires here with that stop. And I believe the first car with a 4-tire stop, that being the 46 machine of Eli Raposa. Rob Lowell, who led the field down to pit road, a very, very long pit stop. It looks like by the time he took only 2 tires, but was very, very slow on pit road. So not sure if he had some sort of damage trying to get that repaired or what the issue was with the 21. If we get a chance later tonight, we may have to try and talk to him about that, but we are ready to go back to racing here. Get easily in control of the start. Cody Meadows, the other car on the front row here. Got to keep an eye on this car in fourth. Jeff Pogo, the first car on new tires. And then the first car on 4 tires, that is going to be the 46 machine back in 10th. And here we go. Kip Easley gonna slow on the start, and trouble there. The 48 machine spins through the grass here. Brandon Finley able to get that car rolling, but we stay green flag racing, at least at the moment. Easley and Meadows side by side. Did Meadows jump that? He definitely went before the 8th and 19 car did. Did he slow up enough to not get a black flag, as these guys still side by side for the race lead? Easily trying to make that inside lane work there. Almost contact between the two of them, but Cody Meadows able to steal the race lead on back. So we will have to see the pace difference between these two, as how hard do you want to race for this race lead, knowing that there is new tires right behind you. As Jeff Pogo up to P number 3 here, trying to run down those race leaders. Cody Meadows here leading the way, able to get a great start, maybe a questionable start, but looks like no penalty for the 19 machine, as he's still out here leading tonight. Oh, that 8 car seems like he has a little bit better long run speed, though right now stuck behind the 19 in that dirty air, so you gotta wonder, is he pushing that car? I know clean air does matter here at Rockingham. See the 84 machine here, able to get that spot from the 23. I think it's 84. Yes, he did. He took 4 tires on that last stop. Able to make it work so far, up in his 6th here, and continue to try and march his way forwards. Battle for the race lead here, heating back on up. Kip Easley all over the back bumper of our race leader. That's right on board with Easley, looking towards that 19 machine, see what he is seeing. Man, he's able to run the top side there, get a big run. Oh, as Meadows takes that run away, Easley could have maybe cut the car low if he wanted to, but I don't think there's enough time for the 8 car to react. We'll see if the 8 car once again goes to the high line, or maybe the 19 will Here comes Easley trying to make the inside lane work. As Easley still putting the pressure on our race leader. Hasn't been able to get side by side with him though. As a pass for position there, Brandon Guerin able to crack into the top 15. He is now running 14th here with that damaged race car. As it looks like trouble for the 84. Andres Varas here stopped on the apron into 3. Green flag still out as he gets that car rolling. Let's take a look, see what happened to the 84 down the backstretch. Oh, and it looks like over those bumps, you see that car hopping, starts to spin towards the left, puts the wheel into the right to try and save that car. And without side force, or I should say barely any side force in these cars, it is very tough to save. Gets behind it, and then a big hit to finish it off to that inside wall. It looks like the 84 car calling it a night here. So Jeff Pogo now within about 4 car lengths of our race leader here tonight. So he is slowly eating into those race leaders' pace. Right behind him, the 36 car of Mike Pardusky. He has multiple laps down here trying to just salvage a finish. You know, he could get all the way up to about 16th here at the moment, as he has the leaders right in front of him. As a 3-car battle starting to shape on up here tonight at Rockingham, right at the quarter-way mark through the race. As now you can see the top 3 all in our screen here off of turn number 4. Last time by, Cody Meadows with a 78, Kip Easley a 74, and then Jeff Pogo a 68, as Pogo makes the high side work, able to get around the A car. Here comes now Pogo to the race lead. Pogo having the pace here at the moment, but that may be because he took those 2 tires at that last stop. The other 2 up here, Cody Meadows, Kip Easley, did not. So Pogo definitely has the tire advantage. And for Pogo, he just wants to see this thing go green for quite a while here. As Jeff Pogo to the inside of Cody Meadows, side by side for the race lead no more, as Jeff Pogo off of turn number 4, he takes over the point. So Pogo here will lead at the stripe here to complete lap 51. As we cycle on through the field here, once again the 17 machine trying to make his way up through the field here tonight. He is once again back into the top 10 with some damage from, I believe it was caution number 2 with the restart incident. You can see that damage on both fenders for the 17 machine. But that has not hindered him too much here tonight. As up towards the front here, Frank Zingen. Zingen has run down now the 19 and the 8. Zingen, another one of those drivers with right side tires on the 62. He will pull to the inside of the 8. They will go side by side here for P number 3 off of turn number 4. And Cody Meadows sits right in front of these two as well. So Meadows has to be careful here because Easley definitely pushing the pace, trying to keep the 62 behind. With that, he is now all over the back bumper of the 19. Side by side once again, the 62 car will dive it in there on the low lane. He's able to stay to the inside, gets a good run off the corner, though it's an advantage to the 8 car. Through 3 and 4, this is where that top side is really dominant. And once again, easily able to hang on to that spot. And with Zingen kind of getting held up here, at least at the moment, here comes now the 61 of Steve Ritter. Ritter now within striking distance of those cars in front of him, about 5 car lengths back. Let's ride on board with Ritter and see what he sees from his helmet cam. We can see that battle for that 3rd position right in front of the 61 here. Frank Zingen still trying to make that inside lane work to the inside of Kip Easley. Easley doing a great job at defending there in lane number 2. I mean, these guys have been going at it, I want to say, at least the last 10 laps, putting on a great show here, as now Steve Ritter going to try and pick a lane. And could we see the lap car be used as a pick? Yes, we do. It looks like Easley will lose that spot to the 62 and the spot to the 61 as well. So Easley will fall back to 5th here tonight. Now Cody Meadows going to try and run away and hide from the 62. Steve Ritter now works over this 62 of Frank Zingen, so this could be what Cody Meadows wants to see in his mirror, as these guys will slow each other down a little bit, battling for that spot. Steve, though, able to wrap that inside lane very, very nicely, as it looks like a call down to pit road. Yes, it is. Kip Easley down, so he will be the first under the green flag condition. Same with the 17 down and the 48. So green flag pit stops officially have started here. The cars that did not come down pit road now down for the first time here tonight on lap 62. Now the question becomes, when does our race leader Jeff Pogo come on down? When does Cody Meadows come on down? How long does Meadows try and stretch it, as he still hangs on to P number 2? As here comes the 21 machine as well of Rob Lowell. Lowell having a lot of speed here tonight at Rockingham. Was the fastest in practice. Was able to get the Riptide Radio Pole Award. He has driven up into 5th here and tracking down the 62 for 4th. Looks like the 30 machine as well down on pit road. So another taker down on these green flag stops. Now we hear the call from P number 2. Cody Meadows going to come on down onto pit road this time by, and here at the moment could maybe split this race into thirds. As Meadows big time sideways. Wow! How did Meadows keep it off of that inside wall? Those rear tires locked on up, and that car was pointed dead at that kick out. Somehow able to hang on to that race car. Man, if he gets a good finish, that could be the save of the race there. So a little bit of time difference here tonight. Kip Easley, of course, pitted a few laps ago. He is back out on track in P number 12. And Easley, last time by, he just ran a 24.22, whereas Jeff Pogo last time by did about a 25 lap second. So right around 3/4 of a second each lap, this ace car has an advantage with these tires. Looks like that 17 machine with those new tires gonna try and get one of those laps back if he can here. Looks like now another car down on pit road, the one car of Brandon Guerin. As Rob Lowe's still getting stuck up in that second lane here with that car on fresher tires. So with that, that's allowed now the 62 to run on away a little bit. As not sure if it was maybe net code there with that car bouncing, but it definitely looked like that 21 machine may have gotten the wall there. Also another car down on pit road, Eli Raposa there in the 46. He's down on pit road as well. So multiple strategies starting to shake on out here tonight. The drivers that pitted on lap 30 staying on out here. The drivers that stayed on out on lap 30 already have come down onto pit road with their service. Back out on the track, they sit both one lap down here at the moment, sitting 9th and 10th. As they're actually battling on the speedway, not anymore, as the 19 of Cody Meadows able to get clear. So if we were to get a caution here at this moment, Cody Meadows gonna be our lucky dog here. So Jeff Pogo still our race leader here tonight. Steve Ritter, MP number 2. Frank Zingen still hanging on to third, but once again, this 21 machine starting to put the pressure back on. Oh, Rob Lowe hard in the outside wall there off of turn number 2. Now, most definitely probably do some damages that time. I don't think that was net code there. So the 21 machine here struggling with the handling of his race car after getting a big shot to that wall there off of turn number 2. And like I said, that wall comes up super, super quick. It can reach out and bite you at any time. Seems like that may have been the case there to the 21 machine. We'll keep an eye on his pace, but that car definitely looking a little bit off. Jeff Pogo out with the race lead here, but Steve Ritter starting to track him on down. Ritter within right around half a second of our race leader here tonight. So those two about 5 car lengths between them as they start to close in on some lap traffic. Looks like we have another taker down on pit road here during the green flag. Looks like it is the 13 car of Jason Wiley. So I believe that makes it about 7 cars yet to visit pit road under the green flag condition. That is our top 7 here at the moment. Jeff Pogo here dealing with some lap traffic right in front of him. The 30 machine as well as the 4. The 4 definitely has some damage here. And oh, this may slow down Steve Ritter just a little bit. He had to get on out of it there. Ritter gonna try and split those lap cars down the middle. Able to get around the 4, now sets his sights back on the 30 machine. Those two side-by-side contact there in the turn number 1. Luckily, a nice little light nudge between the two of them. That could have been very bad for our second place runner, Steve Ritter. So with those cars coming down on pit road around lap 30, it doesn't matter anymore because we get our 4th caution of the evening, and we will have to see what it came out for as, oh no, our 3rd place driver, Frank Zingen here in the 62 with some heavy left front damage. Let's see what happened to the 62 here. As Zingen here slowed on up for Jim Ott, that was off the pace. And then, oh man, the 17 gets into the back of the 62, and the 62 a hard hit to the outside wall with both the left front and the left rear here. So those drivers that stayed on out sit in a really good position as they are going to be able to come down pit road here this time by, and it looks like only about 6 cars on the lead lap. And I think when that caution came on out, I think it's going to be Jim Ott with the lucky dog. So here we go. Jeff Pogo going to lead the field down to pit road, and it's only going to be 6 cars on the lead lap and down on pit road here. It's going to be Pogo, Ritter, Lowell, Larson, Zingen, Hudson, and there is our wave round of Ott going on around. So yeah, all the rest of the field, all the drivers that pitted under the green flag, gonna have to get the wave round with 1 to go. Gonna stay on out. Once again, being a very different tire cycle than all these guys down on pit road here. And it looks like it's going to be Steve Ritter to beat the 97 car off of pit road. So Ritter wins the race off of pit road. Pogo P number 2, Nick Larson 3rd off of it. And we wait for the 4th car to come rolling off. It looks like a lot of repairs done to all these cars still on pit road. It looks like Rob Lowe will finally get that 21 machine rolling. Probably getting some damage repaired on that right front. Joe Hudson down and away as well. So under our 4th caution of the evening, right before the halfway point here, and it looks like a lot of cars here behind the pace car. It looks like those cars just getting waved down around. You see all these cars up and getting after it as we are double filed, getting ready to go back green flag racing as Steve Ritter will lead the field back to green. So it's going to be Ritter in control on the bottom lane in the 61. Jeff Pogo, the other car, on the front row here. Here we go. Going to have about 9 cars on the lead lap with Cody Meadows, Kip Easley taking the wave round. They will be back on the lead lap. And here we go. Steve Ritter on the loud pedal. And we head back to green flag racing here at the Rock. Nice and clean up front here. And here comes Rob Lowell with the power move on the outside. The 21 machine up to P number 2. Ritter will leave at the stripe. Lowell second, Pogo third. Nick Larson, he's had a quiet day so far. He finds himself in the top 5 in P number 4. And then Joe Hudson, another driver. A pretty quiet start, but he finds himself in P number 5. Out in front, Steve Ritter leads the way, and I think right before this halfway point, we got to let the cars do the talking here. Let's do a little turn 3. Turn it up here from Rockingham. So Steve Ritter here tonight, currently pacing the field, able to get the race lead off of pit road here. So far able to hang on it, but here comes the 21 machine. He is charging on up within 2 car lengths of this race lead here, right before this halfway point. Well, maybe running a half a car length higher than the 61 here around this speedway. That time in 3 and 4, about a car length and a half. You gotta wonder how those tires will be feeling if we get another, 60 lap green flag run. Because I assume most of those guys are gonna try and split this final stage with about a 70 and an 80 lapper if they can make it on fuel. What a move there for the race lead. Rob Lowell got a great run off of turn number 2, able to sail it into turn number 3, and new race leader, the 21 machine, back out in front. So first and second back to where they qualified here tonight. Jeff Pogo here still hanging on out in that P number 3 spot. Nick Larson doing a great job here. He's able to keep tabs right with these race leaders. Joe Hudson here hanging on to a P number 5 here at the moment. Frank Zingen involved in that last caution here with that damage to the 62. He still has some halfway decent pace. And Cody Meadows, man, I am very impressed that he's able to keep tabs on these race leaders like he is. He is on some older tires, about I want to say 20 lap older tires than the cars in front of him. And his pace right there with the leaders. I mean, last time by, the 21 machine did a 24.44. The 19 did a 24.57. So only a tenth off. Battle a little bit deeper in the field here. This is the battle for the lucky dog position here between the 48 and the 17. So if we get another caution, this spot could be very, very crucial for either of these drivers. As Finley here in the 48 going to try and defend from the 17. These guys racing inches apart from each other and putting on a great show here for that lucky dog position. And it looks like Finley will be able to hang on to that spot, at least for the time being, as now the 17 going to look to the high side here in 1 and 2. Can't quite get the nose to the outside. Going to push each other here down the back straightaway, but here at the start finish line, cross flags for our race leader. Halfway down, halfway home here in the Tarheel 200 for race number 2 of the Winston Cup Series. We head back to this battle here, and so far still a very intense battle. Neither car able to get away from each other. We ride on board with the 48 machine, looking back at the 17. And Finley's running a pretty defensive line here right in the middle of the racetrack, really making the 17 car really work for this position. Either he has to really drive it in there deep on that high side or try and pinch that car very, very much down low right against the paint here. As it sounds like some fuel saving being done by our race leaders here. Trying to make sure they can make it in just one more stop. Yeah, I think the absolute limit on fuel is about 70 laps. So with that caution coming around lap 80, they could just barely make it, as with that next pit stop being about lap 140 or so, they know they can make it from that point on. As here we go, battle for second. Steve Ritter to the inside of Jeff Pogo. These two side by side for that second position. Pogo going to be able to hang on to it, at least for the time being. Ritter very, very good down here in 3 and 4 last time. This time maybe not quite as good. Not able to get to the inside of the 97. So just over 20 laps on these tires for these drivers. We're going to start to see from here on out who took care of their tires, who maybe abused them for these first 20 laps. As we saw right in the background there, the 62 machine getting the piece of the wall there off the turn number 4. And that tells me one thing, maybe used up that right front a little bit. That car not going to turn, be as responsive in the wheel as it once was, as we see zing and go all the way to the wall there. Battle for second still alive and well here tonight. Also deeper in the field here, It looks like the 17 machine able to snag the lucky dog away from the 48. As now we see Brandon Finley maybe starting to lose a little bit of pace in the 48. Now Jason Wiley to the back bumper there. This will be a battle for position for that 11th position here. Oh, as we get a caution out on the Speedway, one car stopped at the top side of turn number 3. And that looks like it is the 23 machine of Joe Hudson. So we will have to see what Hudson down the back straightaway, kind of already out of control there. And wow, Cody Meadows just able to squeak on by on the high side and coming in there late, but a big time hit there for the 23 machine against the outside wall. This will give us a better indication. And once again, that those bumps off of turn number 2, striking another driver here tonight. As we saw that car start hopping and bouncing, that creates a loss of traction there, and that's enough to send these cars out of control here at Rockingham. So here we go tonight, once again down on pit road. The field will come. Rob Lowell will lead that line of cars down. And this will be a big break for the likes of Cody Meadows, Kip Easley, as they have one more tire set than most of the field left in tonight's race. So they can definitely afford to slap a set on here. It's going to be a really interesting call for the likes of the other drivers to see if they want to use up their their final set before their final pit stop still yet to come. Because I don't think anyone can make it 80 laps. If they can, that'd be very, very impressive. It looks like that time Jeff Pogo gonna win the race off of pit road. Rob Lowell second off Steve Ritter, third Nick Larson fourth, and then Cody Meadows rounding out the top 5 off of pit road. As actually, no, it looks like the 21 machine may have beat the 97. So Rob Lowell gonna win the race off of pit road. Look at this, Jim Ott gonna stay on out on some old tires. Ott will have control of the restart here. So Rob Lowell gonna restart on the inside lane here in the 21. As here we go, our 5th restart of the night. Coming on up here, Jim Ott going to be in control, but on some old tires. What kind of wheel spin will we see out of the 4? We already saw it be an issue once here tonight. As here we go, the iRacing pace car down on pit road. And Jim Ott able to fire off cleanly. Ott gets away with a great start that time. And he will lead the way down into turn number 1. Will take the air off the nose of the 21. As here we go, racing down the back straightaway. Rob Lowell will shoot down to that inside lane. Side by side, 2 rows deep here. Jim Ott will lead that time at the stripe here. As Rob Lowe able to get clear, but we get a caution flag on the speedway. So we will slow down the field here for the 6th time here tonight, as it looks like Jason Wiley here having an issue. We will have to see what happened to Wiley off of turn number 2. And once again, it looks like those bumps will get yet another driver here, as Wiley will get it sideways there, head over the hump there, and man, smacks the inside of that inside wall pretty dang hard there with the left side of that race car. So Wiley gonna be added to the tally of torn up race cars here tonight, and there's quite a few of them. I want to say probably over half of the field having some sort of damage they didn't have to start the night here. As this caution probably won't see anyone really come on down pit road besides maybe any drivers trying to get some damage repaired. As it looks like this time by the Lucky Dog car will be the 48 machine of Brandon Finley. So Finley going to be able to get back on the lead lap here. I'm just seeing it now, so sorry about that. We're looking for a replay back with the Cody Meadows wreck avoidance here. So let's head back to a few cautions ago and ride on board with the 19 machine of Meadows to see what he saw to be able to get through that Joe Hudson wreck. You can see the 23 machine out of control there, and Meadows just finding that gap before that closed against the high side there. What a great wreck avoidance there. And it seems like, man, Cody Meadows getting quite a few close calls here tonight, and nothing has bit him. That being that wreck avoidance there. And then, of course, coming down to pit road, that car all sorts of out of control, somehow saves it there. And Meadows going to restart inside the top 5 with about 80 laps to go. All right, here we go. Going to be the same front row this time. The 21 going to be in control on the start here. Jim Ott still staying out with those older tires. Let's see how this works on out as here we go. Rob Lowe going to be in control. And man, Steve Ritter way back off the bumper of the 21, as that allows Cody Meadows now to get to P number 3. And maybe even P number 2 off of turn number 2. Meadows able to grab that position here, so Cody Meadows gonna try and get back to that race lead here tonight. As he will look to the outside of Rob Lowe, will drive it in there deep, able to get on the throttle as well. And Cody Meadows looking for the race leader around the high side as contact into turn number 3. Race leaders going to lean on each other just for a split second here. And at the stripe, Cody Meadows by half a car length will lead that time by. Able to slam the door shut there on the 21. Cody Meadows back to the point here. Meadows going to try and go 2 in a row, and what a way it would be for him to start a season like that. Right behind them here, Kip Easley trying to work over the 4 car of Jim Ott. His battle for that 3rd position. Right behind them, Steve Ritter sits. Oh, Ott gets tight. Easley gets into the wall with that. As yeah, Ott looked like he just got really tight, squeezed that 8 car into the wall, easily back down to 5th here. Ritter up into 3rd, Jeff Pogo now in P number 4. So some tight racing inside of the top 5, but out in front, Cody Meadows here pacing the field. This time by at the stripes, about 75 laps left into this one here. As easily trying to get back some of those positions he lost with that. All over the back bumper of Jeff Pogo. So couldn't get the run off the corner. Pogo will now look high to Steve Ritter. Ritter, it seems like one of the best cars on this inside lane here tonight. So the 61 may not, fire off with blistering speed, but man, if we get a long run to the end here, we got to keep an eye here on the 61 of Ritter. And how about this guy here? The 17 car of Chris Proger running in 6th position. So we saw him just a few laps ago battling for that lucky dog position. Was able to get the lucky dog. Now back onto the lead lap with some tires as well. And he has driven his way almost into the top 5 here. He's up to 6 with that beat up race car. So a great run for him here tonight, a great rebound at that, and depending on his pace right now, looking, a little bit off of the cars in front, but that could always change here in a moment if they start to, really heat up a tire, start to lose grip in that corner. As we see the battle for second starting to heat on up a little bit more, as Jeff Pogo within 2 car lengths of the 21, kept easily right there within a car length of the 97 as well. So the top 5 all within about a second of each other. Everyone, it seems like, at least at the moment, trying to race off the pace of the cars around him. No one really stretching out a lead or really hanging on back here. So everyone kind of has the same game plan from here on out. The question is, who is going to be able to execute the best out of all of them? Here we go, Steve Ritter will look to the inside of Easley. I think Easley might have gotten a little bit tight there off the turn number 2. Couldn't quite carry the same momentum down the back straightaway. And you got to wonder, Easley, of course, forced into the wall. How much is that damage affecting the 8 car? As Easley will lose that 4th position. Here comes Ritter. Gonna start to slowly turn it on up here. With 65 laps to go here at the stripe tonight, Cody Meadows continuing to lead the way here over Rob Lowell in 2nd. Jeff Pogo, P number 3. Steve Ritter in 4th. Kip Easley rounding out the top 5. Chris Progar in the 17, running in 6th. Jim Ott 7th. Nick Larson 8th, Brandon Finley 9th, Frank Zingen now 9th, and Brandon Finley now 10th. So not sure if the 48 machine had an issue or these guys just racing hard for that position, and that seems like it is the case here for the 48 and the 62. As Finley able to get that spot on back here. As Jeff Pogo really starting to put the pressure on the 21 machine. Let's ride on board with the 21 looking on back on Pogo. See what Pogo's doing different, where he tries to make a move. As Pogo will get to the outside of the 21 side by side here off of turn number 2. Lowell does a great job at getting a run there. He will try and slide on up. Looks like he will. Pogo gonna try and cross him on over, but lap traffic sits right in front of them. Looks like that lap traffic gonna stay up and out of the way. Looks like Joe Hudson there gonna go one lap down with that damaged race car. As Pogo gonna have to reset, re-rack, and re-attack Rob Lowell for that second position now with about 60 circuits left here tonight at Rockingham. Oh, it's trouble here for the 21 machine. Rob Lowell into the outside wall, down the back straightaway. I think he just got loose there. And once again, another driver falling victim to those bumps here as we try and take a look, see what happened. As yeah, that is the case. That car just hopping and skipping over those bumps. Loses actually the front end, it looks like. Had a lot of wheel. Started to come around. Hooked it quickly to the right. Will smack the wall, but at least keeps that race car underneath him as he starts to bleed some positions with that damage to the 21 machine. So Rob Lowell will fall to P number 4 here. Ritter up into P number 3. Jeff Pogo, of course, inherits that second position. And we'll see if Pogo can run down our race leader, Cody Meadows. I think with this long green flag run here, let's throw up our track map here on the right side of our screen. See where your favorite driver's running out on the speedway. As last time by, Cody Meadows with a 24.75, Jeff Pogo with a 24.48, and that will now get all erased as our 7th caution of the evening will fly. And this may be the time for some strategy here. With about 55 laps, do you take your last set of tires? Do you save them if you're the likes of Cody Meadows? You know you have an extra set. Do you come use them now and give up this race lead? Man, a lot of decisions to be had here. We will see what the call is for Cody Meadows here on the front straightaway. And it looks like Meadows gonna bring it down on pit road. He will lead the way over Jeff Pogo, Steve Ritter, Rob Lowell, Kip Easley. So everyone down on the lead lap. Gonna head down pit road here. Joe Hudson gonna be the lucky dog under this 7th caution here. So Hudson will get back on the lead lap. That'll put 11 cars back on the lead lap here. And we will keep an eye on the end of pit road here. See who wins the race off of pit road. And the strategy has been set here tonight, folks. Jeff Pogo down on pit road for only 7 seconds. So I believe Pogo just taking fuel. Same with the 61 of Ritter. Cody Meadows down and away, I believe, taking 4 tires on that stop. So we will have to see what the difference is. And here tonight, it will probably be about a 50-lap shootout as the field will re-rack, restack, and we get ready to turn them on loose once again here at Rockingham. So Jeff Pogo going to be in control here of the restart. The 61 machine of Steve Ritter going to also start on the front row as now we wait for Jeff Pogo to fire on off inside the restart zone. He will do so, check up on the outside lane, but everyone keeps it rolling there as Steve Ritter once again does not get a good restart. Here comes Cody Meadows with those 4 new tires. Jeff Pogo going to shade to the inside lane. Meadows says, you can have that, buddy. We're going to sail it in here deep on the high lane and off of turn number 4. Cody Meadows back to the point already. So in a perfect world for the 19 machine, this race will go green to the end. Won't have to worry about any more tires and can use this strategy perfectly. Jim out another one on this alternative strategy up to P number 2. Kip easily now into the top 3. So easily with that right side damage there from the 4. Now has some new nose damage. You can see that center of the nose pushed on in on the 8 car. Yeah, I wonder, that car definitely not sealing off to the racetrack. Probably not driving the best as well as, here we go, easily and on. May throw it on down. Those two already having some contact here tonight. How will it shake out here? It's right further on back here. Nick Larson under fire from the 48 machine. Larson, though, trying to battle with those race cars in front of him, that being the 62 and the 61. Larson able to get to the top side here down the front straightaway. Side by side through 3 and 4. They will go for P number 6. Larson couldn't quite make it stick there in lane number 2. Out in for that second position. That battle quickly over here as Kip easily will take over P number 2. I think Jim Ott says, you know, I was sorry about before. I'll let you have that position and take back over second. That pass very easy. As here we go once again, Nick Larson on the charge, trying to work around the 62 machine, trying to get the job done the tough way up in lane number 2. So far with the advantage, Nick Larson, and he's able to get clear. Larson, though, will snag a piece of the wall. That will slow him on back and allow Frank Zingen to maybe get that spot back as Steve Ritter right in front of him, 3 wide into turn number 1. Man, how did they not wreck there? That was close quarters racing there, 3 wide into turn number 1. As Steve Ritter continues to fall on back. You got to wonder, Ritter still saving tires. He knows it's still a long way to the end, but man, with a tire disadvantage, I feel like you got to keep it rocking and rolling as much as you can. It's pretty much only him and Jeff Pogo on wrong side of this strategy, at least at the moment. Those two cars, the 97 of Pogo and the 61 of Ritter, hoping for a caution with about 30 or so laps to go. That would make this race a dead even sprint for everyone from there on out. Cody Meadows, though, continues to pull away from the field out in front. Meadows over a 3/4 second advantage over Kip Easley. Easley has found his way back up to P number 2, and then Jim Ott. And another driver up and down day for the Ford machine. He finds himself back where he qualified into P number 3. So the 2 and the 62 starting to run down the 97 machine of Pogo. We will keep an eye on this. This is shaping up to be the best battle on the Speedway, because also here comes now the 61 machine of Steve Ritter. Not anymore. They wrecked down the back straightaway. Frank Zing and Steve Ritter involved. They will come to a stop here on the apron, and somehow no caution out on the Speedway. Wow. I don't know how that doesn't constitute a caution there. As two cars go spinning, Frank Zingen and Steve Ritter involved with that one. So we will go back here on the replay, take a look what happened. Looks like the 62 gets out of sorts, smacks the wall. That slows down the momentum enough that the 61 had no time to react into the back bumper there. And both those cars with some pretty significant hits and no caution to slow down the field as they fall back. And it looks like Steve Ritter down on pit road. His night might just go up in smoke here late. So Ritter will lose a lap to the field, at least one. Probably will lose 2 or 3 when it's all said and done. I believe out on the racetrack, only about 16 or so cars still out here turning laps. But it has been Cody Meadows since that last restart. About 12 laps to go. He has been the driver to beat here from there on out. Take a look back here once again of the 2-car Nick Larson, continuing to put the pressure on the 97 of Pogo. Larson within 2 car lengths of the 97. The question is, can Larson get on around him? We've seen it has been very, very tricky to pass here at Rockingham, and that will only continue to grow more and more apparent as we get closer to the checker, because everyone knows these spots, each and every one mattered from here on out. I'd say why we got a little bit of a break in the action here on the Speedway. Let's ride on board with our race leader, Cody Meadows here. See what he is doing to run the lap times he is running out here. And last time by, fastest car on the Speedway, 24.43 for the 19 machine. As Meadows, our race leader, gets a piece of the wall there off at turn number 2. And that's how easy it is to do it, folks. I mean, our race leader with a 1.5-second advantage should be on a Sunday drive. Still so easy to make a mistake here at Rockingham. Further on back here, I think maybe an issue for the 8-car of Kip Easley. He lost a lot of time in that last lap, It looks like easily may lose the spot now to Jim Ott as they go side by side for second. Ott will be able to clear the 8 car. So Jim Ott back to P number 2 here for the moment. Right behind them, Jeff Pogo starting to track those 2 cars down in front of him. So Pogo finding some pace the last couple laps here at Rockingham. As Pogo puts it all the way against the fence, gets the run on easily, gets the position, and they drag race down the back straightaway. But I think Jeff Pogo should be able to take that spot. Yes, he does. So I wonder if easily maybe those tires starting to go a little bit on the 8 car, because he is starting to lose pace here very, very quickly. You got to wonder with that big time slowdown, maybe he got the wall of that car, maybe the toes knocked out of it, or something definitely going on, because that 8 car definitely doesn't have the pace that he did before. So 61 machine of Steve Ritter able to get back out on track, though Ritter finds himself 10 laps down here, trying to make his way back through the field. Last time by Ritter, best car on the Speedway. As he gets in the back of the 30 machine, they somehow save it. Could have been a caution there, but a great save by the 30 machine of Caden. Caden with a big save there, and I think at the moment, looks like Joe Hudson going to be the first car 1 lap down if we do get a caution. Nick Larson down on pit road. This is definitely an unscheduled stop here by the 2 machine. You can see some right front damage to him. I wonder if Larson got the wall and had to come on down or what happened, but Larson down on pit road. A good finish maybe going on away here right before the countdown clock as we get a caution on the Speedway. The 46 machine of Raposa here stopped on the banking in 3 and 4. So Raposa already kind of damaged on the racetrack. That left front fender hanging on out and no steer in that left front. And then, yeah, the 46 of Raposa hard in the outside wall. That left front already broke. Wow, Rob Lowe just getting on by. Same with Johnny Barker. Holy smokes. Let's ride on board with Johnny Barker to see that 46 machine go flying on by on the right side. You can watch the red car just squeak on by them. Barker, woohoo! Man, that was a close call for both the 21 and the 6. It looks like Raposa's night will come to an end. Now the question is, who still has tires left here tonight? 25 to go. If someone has saved a set of tires, they will be sitting very pretty. As it looks like Cody Meadows going to fake down pit road. Jim Ott, Jeff Pogo, both going to come on down. So both of those cars going to have a set of tires left here tonight. Same with maybe the 21 of Rob Lowell. And maybe some other cars coming on down. Maybe to get some repairs, maybe some tires. But it looks like 4 cars going to stay on out. Cody Meadows still out on track. Kip Easley still out there as well. Brandon Finley and Chris Prager going to stay on out as well. So 4 cars out on the racetrack and about 5 of them down on pit road here with now 25 to go. So under our 8th caution of the evening here, involving 1 car stopped on the racetrack here. So before a sprint to the end here of this one, a quick word from our partners over at Premier Setup Shop. All right, here we go. Cody Meadows going to elect the outside lane here on the restart. It's going to be Meadows easily on the front row here with about a 23 lap shootout left here in the Tarheel 200 as the iRacing pace car heads down to pit road, and Cody Meadows going to be in control here. He will fire on off. Big time wheel spin from Meadows. Same with Easley. Easley will go on around. Somehow that A car does not get hit. Wow. I thought for sure that was going to be big time calamity there. But everyone able to miss the A car, and that could have been very, very bad. As we take a look at it one more time here, Cody Meadows will fire on off with those old tires. He will get wheel spin. Then the 8 car will as well. He will spin up top to 17 just with a little bit of damage. And then look at Steve Ritter just get on by Johnny Barker. Man, that was close calls for a lot of drivers here late. As Cody Meadows still our race leader here. And then the first guy on fresher tires, Jim Ott, going to restart MP number 4. Jeff Pogo 5th, Rob Lowell 6th. So those are the 3 cars we got to keep an eye on. But these guys up towards the front though, heck of a run. Cody Meadows looking to go 2 in a row. Brandon Finley up to 2nd now. And Chris Broger in P number 3. Wow, a lot of great storylines coming to the end of this race here. It's going to be inside of a 20 lap sprint to the finish. When we get back rocking and rolling here under our 9th caution of the evening. And this race has been a big time race of attrition. I believe only 9 cars now on the lead lap. We started tonight with 22 cars here, so that just shows you how tricky and tough of a track Rockingham Speedway is. As here we go, it's going to be 1 to go here at the stripe, and it looks like Cody Meadows going to restart on the outside lane. I don't know how to feel about that call, because with that choice, yeah, it's the preferred lane, but now Jim Ott with those fresher tires gets to restart right behind you. And if there's an issue with tire spin, it's probably coming from this inside lane here. Man, oh man, it's going to be a 19 lap shootout to determine who will walk away with the checkered flag here. No one has really dominated the race here. Everyone has led about 40 or so laps or less here. So it's anyone's race from this point on. As Cody Meadows, Brandon Finley on the front row here for this 9th restart of the night. iRacing pace car heads down pit road, and here we go. Cody Meadows on the loud pedal here. No wheel spin this time as we head back to green flag racing as Jim Ott up into P number 2. Oh, Jeff Pogo sideways on the racetrack. Pogo somehow hangs onto that race car. The Pogo gonna lose a lot of track position because of that. Pogo back to 6th here at the moment. As we stay green flag racing here at the moment. And back up towards the front here, Rob Lowe trying to get around Brandon Finley. That is for the 3rd position here. As Lowell has the run down the back straightaway, that 21 machine up to P number 3. Can he run down the 2 cars in front of him before it's all said and done? Everyone's pushing from here on out. Best laps just done by Cody Meadows, Jim Ott, and Rob Lowell. Everyone knows it's time to push from here on out. No saving any sort of tire left here tonight. As Meadows about a 7/10 advantage off of turn number 4. Jim Ott trying to run him on down. Last time by pretty much identical lap times for the top 3. Let's take a look here at that green flag start here. See what happened to Jeff Pogo into turn number 1. Pogo going to restart in the 5th position here. Let's see what happened in the 97. We'll look to the inside of the 17 there. Gets into the back bumper, and that just sends that car on around, having 0 to no rear grip there. So Pogo going to try and race back that position here. He's within 2 car lengths of the 17 machine here with about 14 laps left in this one. Pogo with the tire advantage, able to get to the outside of the 17 off of turn number 2. Jeff Pogo back into the top 5 here, but definitely running out of time with now only 13 laps to go here at the stripe. Jim Ott not having the pace as well. Everyone identical lap time last time by as well. And it seems like that 21 machine starting to run down the 4. Jim Ott only on 2 new tires, excuse me. Rob Lowell on 4 new tires here at the end of this one. And that could be the difference for that runner-up spot. It's going to be very tough to catch Meadows here with now only 11 laps to go here at the stripe. Battle for 4th as Pogo able to get around the 48 machine. So Pogo goes to P number 4 as one car slow there down on the apron. Not sure what car that was. Oh, it might have been the 46 machine of Eli Raposa. Rob Lowe now working to the outside of Jim Ott, and this time by at the start finish line. 2 open palms from the flagman. It is 10 laps to go as Rob Lowell gets a great run down the front straightaway. Lowell to P number 2. Can he run down Meadows with now 9 to go? It's going to be single digits here at the start finish line. Rob Lowell 0.2 of a second better last time by. That will be enough to get the job done this time by. Cody Meadows with a 24.60. Rob Lowe with a 24.40. So once again, 0.2 of a second able to be erased for the 21 machine. He's going to be able to get there in time here. Can he get around the 19? Rob Lowe within 3 car lengths of the race lead here tonight. Would be a big time win. Would be career win number 10 for the 21 machine and put him P number 2 of all time wins and breaks a 3-way tie between the 21 and 2 other drivers? Or can the 19 machine of Cody Meadows pick up 2 in a row? Lowell will continue to work that high side here, tries to build up that momentum. And this time by, we see 6 laps to go. And don't count this man out. Contact for the race lead as Cody Meadows, Rob Lowe get together. And here comes now Jeff Pogo. Pogo, where did he come from? Pogo, a man on a mission. He's up to P number 2. As, oh man, we're here and the 21 has damage on that race car. That car not driving super well. Could Jeff Pogo steal this one on away? It's a 3-car battle with inside of 5 to go for the race win. Rob Lowe gonna keep that car pinned to that outside lane, gonna try and keep up the momentum. Jeff Pogo gonna try and make the track as short as possible. 4 to go at the stripe, and the advantage to the 21 machine. Now Pogo will go to the fence. He will try and get to the right rear corner of the 21. Couldn't quite do it that time by. Also further on back, Brandon Finley starting to run down Jim Ott for that 4th position, but a great battle inside our podium with now 3 laps to go. Pogo once again trying to work this inside lane here off of turn number 2. Rob Lowe gonna get a piece of the wall. Could that be enough for the 97? Lowe will stay to the right rear quarter. He will drive it in there deep. Cannot let this 97 get clear. Off of turn number 4, Pogo able to get clear. Popsicle sticks up in the air. It is 2 laps to go. Pogo will defend to the high lane there. Pogo will get the position. Able to get a good run off the corner. He will try and set on sail. Man, what a race it would be. As here we go, white flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Brandon Finley still on the back bumper of Jim Ott. And it is our final circuit around here. Jeff Pogo down the back straightaway for the final time. And oh man, Brandon Finley able to get around Jim Ott as maybe contact between those two. And off of turn number 4, Jeff Pogo will pick up the checkered flag here for the Tarheel 200. Rob Lowe will finish P number 2. Cody Meadows rounds out the podium here, as we will be talking to all 3 of those drivers here in just a short moment with our post-race show. But Jeff Pogo picks up his first checkered flag of this season, and now this makes career win number 7 for the 97, as Jeff Pogo will burn it on down here on the front stretch and celebrate a big time win here. As Jeff Pogo looks like will start to drive it towards the start finish line, gonna try and get a big burnout going, and looks like he will do just that. Jeff Pogo gonna burn it on down here into the grass. He will go. So we will be back here in just a few short moments after we get all the drivers lined on up here for the post-race show. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to Rockingham Speedway, and we will be talking to our podium finishers. Our first driver we will be talking to is our third place finisher, that being the 19 machine of Cody Meadows. As here we go. Now we'll get a word from Cody Meadows. Cody, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man. How we feeling after 200 laps here at Rockingham?
Well, little bit of mixed emotions. I mean, I cannot be mad with the third place. But after all that time in the lead, knowing that there was a chance if it only would have stayed great. But yeah, I'm happy with the Bass Pro 919. It's a great car. I mean, it was ups and downs in some sense, but good battling all through the night. So like I said, can't be mad. Third place. So what more
Yeah,
do you ask for?
yeah, it definitely seemed like that was the case here tonight for you, Cody. I mean, yeah, like you said, an up and down night for you to be there at the end with the lead, but you knew you had tires behind you. What was your thought process in going through those last couple restarts? Probably besides, don't spin the tires here on the start and wreck myself, right?
I mean, I felt like a NHRA driver for a second on that second to last restart. I pedaled and it didn't go nowhere. It started going sideways. But yeah, I I didn't really find the right line for my tire management until like halfway through that race, and by the time that had happened, my last set was gone. And um, knowing that there was tires behind me, my aim was to get up front and try to stay up front as long as I can. And even there at the end, when me and Rob got into each other, like I was in like last ditch effort, last resort. I started shifting, trying to get anything out of the car, and by that time it was too late. And him and Jeff got by me. Props to Jeff for the win, but like I said, a little annoyed with myself, but again, it's third. I can't be mad. So
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you can't be mad, especially how this season has started as well, Cody. Picking up the big win last week and then here tonight, come into the race, a car to contend with the win all race long and to end up on the podium, man. That's a great way to start the season.
yes, sir.
Yeah, and with this season, we of course have a track on the schedule next week. We head to Auto Club, so start the West Coast swing. How you feeling about a mile and a half or a 2 mile track, let's make it, of Auto Club?
Um, it's like, to be fair, when I went into tonight's race, this is only the second time I've ran the Rock, so I was kind of panicking tonight. As far as Auto Club goes, I like the mile and a halves. I like the 2 mile. Uh, but the tire management is a big kicker to those tracks. That's what makes them different than short tracks and super speedways. So I'm excited. Can't wait to see how the season goes. I mean, got the win at Daytona, got the third place here. Just got to keep this momentum up and take it to the win.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that, Cody. Here, you're definitely starting the season off with a lot of momentum here tonight with that third place finish. And I mean, man, strategy all over the place. You're one of those drivers staying out early. Was that the game plan, or was that kind of decision made for you? And what was the game plan from there on out?
Really, the way I split up the race, I mean, it's 200 laps. You don't want to pit too early, and you don't want to pit too late neither. But right there in that little gap, we was 30 laps in, and if I would have pit, in my opinion, taken tires right there, it's kind of a throwaway because you're right between that quarter mark. And if you could just, we already had 4 sets of tires, so I mean, 50, 50, 50, and you'll be fine. And that was how I went about it. So, and when going into that caution, it's a no brainer for me. It's like I'm not gonna throw away tires when they're still good. I mean, for the longest time, I was hanging with whoever was past me on fresh tires in the lead, and I was in second. I stayed behind them the whole run. So I mean, that kind of made my point.
Yeah, and it definitely seemed like that 19 machine had a lot of speed. Like you said, even with those old tires, man, you're putting in some lap times that pretty much match those cars on tires. So that was really impressive to see from you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Alrighty, well, Cody, once again, congrats on your second consecutive podium of the season. But before we let you go, my man, we're gonna go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether it's sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Friend Christian again for helping me get into 802. There's a great group of guys. Competition is phenomenal. Rob for helping me, well, letting me race. You up in the booth with turn three, taking y'all's time to broadcast these races. Velos, Nikki, Scooby, Sarah, love y'all. Ari, um, Puff, Stitch, Jordan, Bean, Rachel, 90s. Love you guys. I couldn't ask for a better friend group. I know in some y'all having y'all's rough patches, we'll get through it. We all in it, stick together. Like, it's Mr. Afton, don't kill me. um, but again, I cannot be more thankful for a phenomenal group of friends. Y'all make my nights every day. All my teammates throughout my iRacing career, mom, dad, for helping me get the money to be able to do this. It's humbling in more ways than one, but yeah, just all the people around me that make my days happy and worth the living, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And awesome stuff here, Cody. And congrats again, my man, on a great start to the season so far and this third place at Rockingham. So Cody, you have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
You too, man.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third place finisher, Cody Meadows, in the 19 machine. Now we'll head up to our runner-up finisher, that being the 21 machine of Rob Lull. Rob, my man, how we feeling after 200 laps at the Rock?
Wow, what an emotional roller coaster that was.
Yeah, you
Um,
tell me about it. I don't think anyone had a nice, easy night tonight. It seemed like everyone was on a roller coaster here.
I'm not sure anyone in this league has finished second on a non-super speedway track with almost 4 minutes of damage. When I came out of the pits that last time, I still had 3 minutes and final 40 seconds of damage. So I just feel lucky and blessed to finish where I did tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, that was an impressive thing to see. And where did most of that damage come from? Was it just that wall hit off of two that really started the damage?
Yeah, with about 70 to go, I got into it. So this week I got a new sim rig. I got a track racer, TR160, and I got a new. Finally made the switch to direct drive wheel this week. When I built the rig, I went to a Sim Magic Evo 12 Newton meter wheel, and I'm still getting used to it. I got off that bump off of 2, and kind of did a death wiggle and got on the wall and smacked it. But yeah, and I thought I killed the car. I really did, because the steering wheel was off about a quarter turn, and I just rode there. I was feeling lucky. There was only 7, 8 cars in the lead lap at that point, or wherever there was, maybe 10, and I knew I had a set of tires, and then Eli hit the wall and broke his steering, and he tried to keep it in the wall, and then he came down, and I don't know if you saw it on the replay, but I just about smoked him.
Oh yeah, that was a close call for sure.
That was scary. So then we went in and I said, well, I knew that. I thought it was just me and Pogo that maybe had a set of tires, or maybe Jim Ott too. I'm not sure if Ott did at that point, but I thought it would be good for 10, 15 laps, and it'd burn the right front off it. And I went in, and we had a 50 lap run there, and my right front was still like 64, and I was like, holy crap, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So put new tires on it, and it fired off really good, and we got to Cody there, and I think he was feeling the pressure a little bit, and I haven't looked at the replay. I don't know if went up or he came down. He did tell me in the waiting booth that he started downshifting, so he downshifted a little bit. I probably slowed his car up a little bit more than I thought. We got together. I feel bad for him. Luckily, he saved it. And then I knew Pogo didn't have any damage, and he had fresh tires like me. There was no way I was going to hold him off. I tried for a couple laps and got back in the wall, and just lucky to finish second. I'll take it. Not a bad start to the season so far.
Yeah, not a bad start for sure, Rob. Daytona done and over with. At least, that race always a wild card. You never know what's going to happen. But here tonight at Rockingham, having a lot of speed. So how are you looking forward to next week then at Auto Club? Hopefully going to carry some momentum over there.
Yeah, Auto Club's been okay for me historically. We'll start practicing this week here and get some time in and try to figure out the wheel and the wheelbase and see what happens here. It's kind of new right now. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that new wheelbase paying off dividends, Rob, because you tonight, fastest in practice, walking away with the Riptide Pole Award, and then so close to sweep the night, let's say, but able to walk away second overall with the up and down race. That's got to feel pretty good as well.
Yeah, it does. I'm just mad at myself for getting too hard on the gas off too and getting on the wall and getting that damage. There was no need to be pushing that hard right then. I had a lot of speed left in the car. I should just let it take it a little bit easier. But hey, no one's perfect, so my night went better than Denny Hamlin's. So we'll look at it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely not the amount of pressure or the up and down night that the 11 car had, because I'm sure we should keep all the sharp objects out of the hands of the 11, right?
Yeah, I posted that in our next gen chat as soon as it's over. I said I hope they're putting away all the sharp objects in the 11 hauler. I've never been a Denny Hamlin fan. As the week went on, I'm not a fan of Denny Hamlin the driver. Denny Hamlin the person on his podcast. It's hard not to like him. He thinks a lot like he is a racer, but he thinks a lot like I do about certain things. I wasn't going to be upset if he won the championship, but man, I'm really happy Larson did. And it's just one more reason why NASCAR needs to go back to the 36 race points, like we do in our Busch series here at this league.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Definitely need to change up the point scenario to go away from the one race, because I think that thing's seen its last race, or fingers crossed it better be, right?
Yeah, NASCAR got lucky on Friday night. Heim, went, where did he go, 11th to the lead in one lap or something. And
Yep.
They could have had the same thing there. Then yesterday, Jesse Love, steals the win and the championship. Connor Zilich, 11 wins on the season. How that's a tough pill to swallow. So, and then today, Denny was in a position where he was the dominant car at that point, and Cliff Daniels and Kyle make a call, and then Kyle gets up in the wheels and hustles the high side like he does every weeknight in a dirt car.
Yeah, an incredible run for that 5 car to pick up the championship. And Wild stuff for sure there, and wild stuff here tonight, Rob, at Rockingham, one of the toughest tracks. And turn number two, man, it seemed like it caught a lot of people off guard, including yourself. And I mean, what was so tricky? Was it just that once it got over the bumps and you had some wheel in it, it was game over?
Yeah, Johnny and Steve and I practiced today for an hour earlier, and we tried some different things. Steve and Johnny tried dialing force feedback out of the car, which helped him on that bump, not getting that wiggle, then shooting right back into the wall. But then, as you dialed your force feedback down, you lost the ability to feel when the car started to slide to you, and then they started spinning down in the wall. Um, I just left my wheel turned up, out it out, and it just came down to where you got on the gas, and I was never on the fully open on the throttle to pass that bump in that lap. The car was really solid off the corner, and I was racing a little bit against with Jeff, and I just put too much throttle in it and did it to myself. That was 100% my fault. I ran out of talent.
Yeah, but overall able to rebound up on the podium. P number two, Rob. So once again, congrats on that. And yeah, you mentioned a little bit earlier in your interview. I always like to ask, what people are running for their sim setups. And I know you, my man, have an upgrade. So why don't you tell us what you're running these days for all your cool equipment around you?
Um, Start off the PC. I built it over the last 8 months myself. It's a Ryzen 9000 X3D processor for 5070 MSI gaming trio, 5070 Ti graphics card. The rig's a TR160 with the integrated monitors, quad monitors. So I got the triples with the fourth telemetry monitor up top. Got a SimMagic Evo 12 Newton meter wheel. And Wednesday, my SimMagic P2000 hydraulic pedals will be here. So the rig's essentially all going to be brand new in the last month and a half.
Man, that sounds like a sweet setup, Rob. And I'm sure that stuff, you're already quick before, but with that stuff, especially once you get dialed in, everyone better watch out, right?
Yeah, I'm coming from a 8-year-old belt-driven wheel mounted to a plastic folding table. So, and a pair of Fanatec V3 pedals. So I used the Fanatec V3s tonight, but yeah, I waited a long time to do it, but I guess I've committed to it now. So we'll see what happens.
Yep, you're definitely in deep now in the same sim racing world, and it's definitely cool to see. Well, Rob, once again, congrats on the P number two. Before we let you go and celebrate the runner-up finish here, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, and anyone else you want to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. I want to first and foremost thank my son Ethan. He came up yesterday, spent I don't know about 12 and a half hours with me. Finished putting this thing together, getting it dialed in, getting the screens matched up. Without him here yesterday, I would not have had it together racing tonight probably. So big thanks to Ethan. I know you're watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for all you did yesterday, and you make me proud every day. I want to thank Johnny and Steve, my teammates, Eli, Nick, um, keeping me pumped up during the race, and especially the last 20 laps there. Thank Eli and thank Johnny and Steve for the practice today. Helped me get this wheel dialed in. My sponsors, GStone Motors, Stone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and Riptide Radio. Special shout out to Jeff Barefoot. Jeff, I know you'll be watching at some point. Thanks for all you do for the league. I want to thank BG Graphix, DTL, Customs. No, I'm forgetting someone. Who am I forgetting? Turn 3 Racing Network and you, Brett. You guys do an awesome job. This was a long race tonight. Appreciate your time. And congratulations to Jeff on the win. And congrats, Cody, on another podium. I think those two have been on the podium both weeks. So good job to them.
Yeah, definitely awesome stuff. And Rob, we got to thank you, my man, as well, for one, being part of the racing action each and every week, and all the work you got to do on the back end as well with all the admin stuff. I know that's kind of a thankless job, and it's a lot of work, my man. So we appreciate what you do to make this stuff happen and put on these great shows each and every Sunday night.
Yeah, I want to also thank Brandon Grand. Brandon stepped up and taken a lot of the admin stuff off my plate this season. It's been a nice little breather. Between the two of us, we pretty much keep everything going, and he does a great job. So thanks to Brandon on that.
All righty. Well, awesome stuff, Rob. Well, once again, man, congrats on the runner-up finish. And you have yourself a great rest of the night. And I'm sure we'll be talking again here in the near future.
Okay. Thanks, Brett. We'll talk to you later.
All righty, folks. That was our runner-up finisher, the 21 machine of Rob Lull. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the 97 machine of Jeff Pogo. Jeff, do you got a copy? It's Brett Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Alrighty, my man. So after 200 laps, how we feeling?
Pretty good. I was a little worried there at the end, that final restart, when I got knocked sideways and sent to the back, but I hadn't really hustled it all night. I knew I had a little more speed than I'd showed all night, so just kind of, did what I did and then used the outside lane up against the wall and 1 and 2 to my advantage and just passed guys on the outside.
Yeah, and I mean, man, yeah, we got to talk about, that restart. You get checked on up on that inside lane sideways, somehow, first of all, save that race car. And then from there, man, how'd you keep your head down, not overdrive this race car, and then be able to run down those leaders and still win this race?
Not sure. I don't know who it was behind me. Might have been Kip. Maybe. I don't know. But thanks to somebody for not running me over, whoever it was, once I came back up on the track after being sideways. And then once I gathered it up, Jim's just kind of telling me, like, just calm down, dude. You got time. You got the freshest tires in the field. Just do your thing. And, after a couple laps, getting my speed back, letting the tires cool down, just slowly started working at it. And then, like I said, use the outside to my advantage to get around guys. And I wasn't I was driving hard throughout the race, but I wasn't pushing as hard as I could. So I knew that I had some left. And then once I got up into like 5th or 6th or whatever, chasing them down, I was looking at lap times. And so I was 2 3/10 faster a lap. So I'm not very good at mathing, but I knew I'd get there. So, just try to stay patient.
Yeah, and that you did, and that overall paid off because, Jeff, you're able to walk away with the checkered flag here, as well as that 2 straight podiums. So that title defense already off to a great start, my man.
Yeah, I told you we're going to try to do it. Top 5s is my goal, but podiums are even better.
Yeah, and that definitely is the case. First 2 weeks, you and Cody Meadows on the podium both weeks here. So I think when it's all said and done, I think you guys will be probably tied in points leaving tonight. And then next week we head to Auto Club. How you feeling about that place?
Pretty good. I mean, Auto Club's kind of a drafty track, so I imagine it's probably going to be pack-ish racing. I mean, you can still get away from other guys, but for the most part, it's going to be draft dependent. So I should be okay there. I wouldn't say I'm going to be great, just because that's another one of them tracks you're going to be, close quarters to other guys and hoping that they can hold their line, which everybody in here does a pretty good job that I can see so far. So we shouldn't have a problem there.
Yeah, that track, like you said, definitely going to be a draft and track, high speeds, a lot of different lanes. It's going to be exciting to watch. But yeah, here tonight, man, the excitement came from the pit box. This strategy tonight, man, that was wild stuff. How'd you feel about your call before that final caution?
Well, I didn't know, to be honest, Brett. We didn't have super long runs tonight. I think we had 60 to go at that last whenever I decided to, well, I guess not take the tires but just take fuel, and my tires were still like 80% on the right front. So I knew after a couple laps the new tires would even out and I'd be able to run the same times as them. So I think I was 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in there at that time. I was content with just finishing there. But if the caution did come out, I knew I'd be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, in pretty good shape you were because with that set of tires, even with that setback, able to drive through the field. And was it pretty much just you and Jim Ott that took tires? Because I think Ott only took right sides, right?
He actually only had lefts. He accidentally took rights when he got damaged earlier in the race. So he had lefts only. I took 4, and I believe Rob had 4. I could be wrong. I think he did, but he also had a little bit of damage left from earlier in the race. So that's probably what kind of hindered him a little bit.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense here. And Jeff, looking at the big scheme of things, this is now career win number 7 for the 97, and now put you tied with Brandon Guerin. I think with let me double check, 6 most career wins, man. So you're already flying up on that leaderboard.
What's the most in this league?
So right now it sits at 11 with Kenny Reel. So you sit 4 now behind the most ever wins.
We're going to beat that this season.
I like the confidence there from you, Jeff, and that's awesome. We love to see that confidence here. And yeah, it definitely could be done here because I think even last season, what'd you have, 4 or 5 wins when it was all said and done?
Yeah, I had 5, and I gave 2 away on a bad strategy call, which I think Brandon actually benefited from both of those and won those. So yeah, I probably should have had 7 last year, but settled with 5. Let's try to go for 7 this year.
Awesome stuff, Jeff. And yeah, we're excited to see that run happen. But here tonight, able to pick up your first career win this season for season number 6. And man, it's going to be an exciting one. So, Jeff, here, before we let you go and celebrate a win here at Rockingham, we're going to go hand over the mic to you down in victory lane and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Oh, let's go ahead and thank the teammates. Got to thank Jim Ott. Give him a congratulations too for just kind of hanging in there all night, coming home with the top 5. He got caught up with some stuff early and stayed grinding away. Brandon had some misfortune again, finished, I don't know what, 15th, 16th, somewhere in there. So his luck's got to turn around. We'll get him back on the right track next week. And, thank my wife as always and family for letting me do this. Looking forward to next week.
Awesome stuff, Jeff. And once again, we got to thank you for being part of the show here on Sunday nights. Put on the great racing that we all get to enjoy and whatnot. So, Jeff, you, my man, have yourself a great rest of your night. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future.
Sounds good, buddy. Let's make it next week.
All right. Awesome stuff. Well, Jeff, have a great rest of your night.
You too, buddy.
All righty, folks. That was Jeff Pogo down in victory lane here in race number 2 of the season, able to pick up the checkered flag. So let's head back here. And it looks like already shut off the lights here at Rockingham. So let's head through tonight's race results and get things rocking and rolling. Jeff Pogo will pick up the win here in the 97 machine. Rob Lowe will finish second. And Cody Meadows rounds out the podium. Brandon Finley with his first career top 5. He will finish 4th. And Jim Ott will round out that top 5. Chris Broger in this will finish P number 6. Kip easily in 7th. Joe Hudson P number 8. 9th going to Frank Zingen. And Jason Wiley able to come away with a top 10 finish. He will finish 10th. Nick Larson will finish 11th. 12th going to Reba Caton. 13th going to Steve Ritter. Eli Raposa will finish 14th. 15th going to Johnny Barker. Brandon Guerin will be 16th, 17th, going to Mike Pardusky. Andres Fares will finish 18th. Matt Johnson, 19th, and Dan Holcroft, 20th. 21st going to Tanner White, and 22nd going to Greg Dreiss. So that would do it here tonight from Rockingham. We, of course, got to thank each and every one of you viewers tuning on in. Appreciate everyone here that clicked the stream, whether in live or in the replay. And yeah, I think that would do it here. We, of course, got to thank BG Graphix with their partnership with the 802 iRacing League, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, as well as Stone, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. If you want to find out more, be sure to check out 802 iRacing on Facebook to see how you can join the fun on these Sunday nights. So that'll do it here tonight for myself as well. Turn 3 is partnered with that logo in the bottom right of your screen. That is Premier Setup Shops. You can check them out with the link in the description. A click would be greatly appreciated for myself and everyone at Turn 3 Racing Network. And yeah, we'll catch you next week. Auto Club Speedway. If you thought that tonight's race was exciting, there will be some more action-packed racing at Auto Club next week. So that'll do it here tonight for the Tarheel 200. Jeff Pogo walking away with the checkered flag. So everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week. And I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.